Susan Boyle's story begins in the small town of Blackburn, West Lothian, Scotland, where life moved slowly and dreams rarely traveled far beyond the local streets. Born on April 1st, 1961, she was the youngest of 10 children in a working-class family. Her early years were not easy. At birth, complications left her with learning difficulties that affected how she processed the world around her. School became a difficult place, and she often felt different from the other children. Yet even in those early years, there was one place where Susan felt completely at home: music. Singing in church and around the house became a source of comfort and confidence. Her voice carried a warmth and strength that stood in contrast to the challenges she faced in daily life. While others might not have noticed it yet, the gift that would one day touch millions was quietly taking shape. The challenges of growing up different. Growing up, Susan often struggled with the expectations placed on her by school and society. Learning worked differently for her, and in a time when understanding of neurodiversity was limited, many people simply misunderstood. Some classmates teased her or treated her as though she didn't belong. Those experiences were painful, but they also helped shape the resilience that would later define her life. Instead of retreating entirely, Susan turned again and again to the thing that made her feel capable: singing. Music became more than a hobby. It became a safe space where she could express emotions she struggled to put into words. When she sang in church gatherings or small community events, people sometimes caught a glimpse of her talent. These moments were small, but they mattered. They reminded Susan that her voice had power, even when the world around her seemed uncertain. The encouragement of a mother's faith. One of the most important influences in Susan's life was her mother, Bridget. While many people overlooked Susan's potential, Bridget saw something special in her daughter. She encouraged Susan to keep singing and to believe that her voice was worth sharing. That support meant everything. At local talent shows and small community performances, Bridget often sat proudly in the audience, quietly cheering her daughter on. Susan later said that her mother's belief gave her the courage to keep trying, even when opportunities were scarce. For years, those performances were modest affairs: church halls, charity events, and local competitions. The audiences were small, and recognition was limited. Still, each performance strengthened Susan's love for music. Her mother's steady encouragement helped her hold on to a dream that many people might have abandoned long before. Years of quiet determination. As Susan moved through her 20s and 30s, life settled into a routine in Blackburn. She tried a few times to pursue singing opportunities beyond her town. In 1999, she even recorded a small demo and submitted it to a charity talent competition. Like many aspiring performers, she faced rejection and silence rather than immediate success. These moments were disappointing, but Susan continued to sing whenever she could. During this time, family responsibilities also became central to her life. After her father passed away, she spent many years caring for her mother, whose health required increasing attention. Susan chose to stay close to home, putting family first while keeping her musical dream quietly alive. From the outside, her life seemed ordinary and uneventful. Yet beneath that calm surface was a voice and a passion that had not disappeared, a promise that kept a dream alive. In 2007, Susan's mother passed away at the age of 91. The loss left a deep emptiness in Susan's life. For decades, Bridget had been her greatest supporter and companion. Living alone for the first time was a major change. Yet one promise remained in Susan's mind. She had told her mother she would keep trying to share her music with the world. When she heard about auditions for the television show Britain's Got Talent, she considered applying. At first, she hesitated. After years of quiet life in Blackburn, stepping onto a national stage felt overwhelming. But remembering her promise gave her the courage to try. In 2009, at the age of 47, Susan traveled to Glasgow for the audition. She could not have known that this simple decision would transform her life. The audition that surprised the world. When Susan walked onto the stage at the Britain's Got Talent audition, the audience had no idea what they were about to hear. She appeared modest and unassuming, introducing herself with gentle humor. Then she announced that she would sing "I Dreamed a Dream" from the musical Les Miserables. As the music began, something remarkable happened. Within seconds of her first notes, the mood in the room shifted. The audience, who moments earlier had been unsure, suddenly realized they were witnessing an extraordinary voice. Judges including Simon Cowell, Amanda Holden, and Piers Morgan watched in visible surprise. By the end of the performance, The entire room rose in applause. It was a rare television moment when expectations were completely overturned. A global sensation overnight. Shortly after the audition aired, the video spread rapidly online. Within days, millions of viewers around the world had watched Susan sing. The clip became one of the most widely shared videos of its time. People from different countries and backgrounds connected with her story and her voice. Suddenly, Susan was appearing on international news programs and receiving invitations from across the entertainment industry. The change happened incredibly fast. Only weeks earlier, she had been living a quiet life in Blackburn. Now she was being discussed worldwide. While the attention was exciting, it was also overwhelming. Fame arrived suddenly and intensely for someone who had spent decades outside the spotlight. Adjusting to global recognition required patience and support from the people around her. Finding balance after sudden fame. The intense attention surrounding Susan's rise eventually led her to step back briefly and focus on rest and well-being. During this period, she received a diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome, a form of autism that helped explain many of the challenges she had experienced throughout her life. For Susan, the diagnosis brought clarity rather than discouragement. It helped her understand why certain environments felt overwhelming and why she processed social situations differently. With this new understanding, she and her team began shaping a career that respected her needs. Instead of trying to change who she was, Susan focused on doing what she loved most, singing. That clarity allowed her to return to music with renewed confidence and a stronger sense of self. A record-breaking musical debut. Later in 2009, Susan released her first album, I Dreamed a Dream. The response was extraordinary. The album quickly topped charts in several countries and became one of the best-selling releases of the year. Listeners were drawn to the sincerity in her voice and the emotional honesty of her performances. Unlike many modern singers who rely on elaborate vocal techniques, Susan's style emphasized clarity and storytelling. She sang melodies simply and beautifully, allowing the songs themselves to shine. The album's success proved that her audition had not been a fleeting moment. It marked the beginning of a lasting musical career. For millions of fans, her music became a reminder that authenticity can resonate more deeply than perfection. Staying grounded through success. Even as her career expanded, Susan chose to remain connected to the place where her journey began. She continued living in Blackburn, the same community where she'd grown up. Instead of moving to a large city, she renovated her family home and kept her life relatively simple. This decision surprised many people, but for Susan, it felt natural. Familiar surroundings helped her maintain balance in a world that had suddenly become very busy. Between albums and occasional tours, she returned regularly to the routines that grounded her, attending church, spending time with friends, and enjoying quiet moments at home. That consistency allowed her to manage the demands of fame while staying true to the person she had always been. The enduring power of her story. Over the years, Susan released several more albums and performed for audiences around the world. While the excitement of her first audition will always be remembered, her lasting legacy lies in the persistence that followed. She continued to sing not because of trends or expectations, but because music remained a central part of her life. Her journey reminds people that talent can appear in unexpected places and at unexpected times. It also shows that success does not always follow a predictable path. Susan's story speaks to anyone who has ever felt overlooked or underestimated. Through patience, resilience, and a remarkable voice, she proved that sometimes the most powerful moments arrive when we least expect them.